Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, got it. Welcome to today's mini class. I cannot tell you how excited I am about communication. So, I have a favor to ask you. If you know someone who talks to people, will you please share this broadcast out? Because guess what? I find that we all benefit from improving our communication. For living our best life, communication is foundational. All right, I have my notes and I'm super excited. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet because you're crazy busy. You need it fast. You need this information super fast. Okay, communication is really important part of being well and being happy in your life, because the better you can communicate about the things that matter to you, to the people that matter the most, the better you do. Your health, your mental well-being, everything. Today, I want to talk about how to have successful conversations when you're wanting to bring something up that maybe is a little difficult. Okay? So I'm going to give a professional example first. Let's say you are working with someone who hasn't responded to your last 3 emails and they haven't attended the last 2 meetings, and you really need their input, right? And so, okay, what does a normal person do? A normal person might get really frustrated and be like, you haven't answered any of my emails, and you might make up stories in your head. So I want to give you a formula. Before you approach this person, I want to invite you to get crystal clear on the facts. And the facts are that the last 3 emails, and I encourage you to look at the dates, like the last 3 emails you've sent have gone unanswered, right? And the last 2 meetings have gone unattended by your colleague. So those are the facts. It's not that they haven't ever been there. It's not that never. It's that the last 3 emails, last 2 meetings, they've been gone. Story. What's the story you're telling yourself? Well, I think they don't care, right? I don't think they care about this meeting, this project. I'm starting to think they don't care about me. But do I know? Because who knows ultimately what's going on? The other person, right? So I'm going to approach them and I'm going to say, hi, let's call this person Caroline. Caroline, can we talk? So first, don't assume they can talk to you and don't just start talking. Ask permission. Step number 1, share the facts. Caroline, your input and presence in our meetings is really important to me. And I noticed that these last 3 emails that I sent last week on September 1st, and then September 3rd and September 4th, you didn't respond to them. And the last 2 meetings we had, the one for September and the one for August, you weren't there. Okay, so those are the facts, right? Now you want to tell your story. Caroline, I'm starting to think you don't care about this project. And I'm even starting to think you don't care about me as your colleague. But I want to hear your side of this. Can you tell me your thoughts? What's your side? Now we can hear from Caroline. The coolest thing about this is usually it'll create a safe space to have this conversation. So instead of being like, why have you missed all these meetings? Why? We're coming in with, can we have this conversation? We're naming the facts, okay? Not our feelings, not our story. We're naming the facts. Then we're sharing our story, like what we've interpreted. And then we're asking the person, so what's really happening? Isn't that cool? Okay, share this out if you're starting to get any value, okay? Because if you know someone who communicates, which who doesn't, they need this help. Now let's make it a personal story. So that's a work example. Let's say that your family member hasn't returned your last 2 phone calls. And then they didn't return your text. So you're like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with them? And at the last family function, they canceled at the last minute. So you're upset. You're very upset and you want to talk to them because you should, right? We need to communicate with each other if we're not happy. We need to express to people how we feel. If we want to live our best life, we need to talk. Okay, so here's the method. So remember, they didn't return the last 2 phone calls. They ignored ignoring the story. They didn't answer the last text. And they canceled the last function. Okay? So I'm going to ask my family member, I'm going to call her Susie. I'm going to say, Susie, can we talk? Okay? Because we're not just going to start talking, we're going to ask. Susie, can we talk? We're going to start with the facts. Keep your feelings and story out of it. Facts only. Susie, I called you last Monday, and then I called you again on Thursday. I didn't hear back. So I texted you yesterday. I haven't heard back. And our family dinner, you canceled 15 minutes before it started. Okay, those are the facts, right? Now I'm going to tell my story. So now I'm going to say, Susie, I'm starting to feel like I don't matter. I'm starting to worry you don't care about me. I would really like to hear what's happening. I want to hear your side. Please tell me. I want to understand. Okay? And now Susie can tell you what's going on. We don't know what's going on with Susie. So if you're willing to try this, you are more likely to get into a better situation to communicate with at work or at home if you use this framework. Asking, stating the facts, no feelings, no stories, facts. And then your interpretation, like what you're interpreting. I'm starting to think. And then ask the person to clarify, to tell you their truth. Are you willing to try? Let me know if you're willing to take this on a test drive. Let me know in the comments. Yes, Carla, I'm going to try this. And let me know how it goes. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm actively working on my communication. And I'm going to explain to you that I mess it up when I'm practicing. I mess it up. I can't tell you how many times I've had to say, okay, I'm sorry, let me start over. Because I start, when I'm supposed to be telling the facts, I start telling my feelings. Maybe you'll be graceful. I haven't been graceful in the first 100 times, but it gets easier and it gets better. And what I'm noticing is that we are ill-equipped to have successful conversations. We just lack the skills. And if I've learned anything in my last 15 years of studying communication, is that this is a skill. It takes lots and lots of practice, and it definitely works. So I really hope that you decide to try it, and I hope you let me know. I am rooting for your success times 1,000. If you are interested in learning more about communication and mindset and living your best life, then make sure you follow and please share. All right. I'm rooting for your success times 1,000. Have a great day. Bye.